Welcome to the fifth and final installment on exploring aspects of culturally responsive schooling. My name is Anthony King, and I am the Executive Director of External Engagement with Leadership Academy. This webinar is designed to provide you with an overview and more in-depth understanding of what is meant by the aspect of ongoing professional learning and support and how it relates to culturally responsive schooling. Culturally responsive schools create student-centered learning environments that affirm racial, linguistic, and cultural identities, prepare students for rigor and independent learning, develop students' abilities to connect across lines of difference, elevate historically marginalized voices, and empower students as agents of social change. So what do we mean by ongoing professional learning and support? Ongoing professional learning and support creates continual opportunities for school community members to develop and sharpen a critically conscious lens toward instruction, curriculum, assessment, history, culture, and institutions. How do students benefit from having adults engaging in ongoing professional learning and support, especially as it relates to culturally responsive schooling? Having ongoing and professional learning is rooted in the idea that teaching and learning is an adaptive process needing constant re-examination. It allows learners to develop and sharpen a critically conscious lens toward instruction, curriculum, assessment, history, culture, and institutions. Learners must be self-directed and take on opportunities that directly impact learning outcomes. Pause this video and jot down some thoughts about what having ongoing professional learning and support with respect to culturally responsive schooling might look like in your school. Referencing the Culturally Responsive Schools rubric associated with the Culturally Responsive Schooling 360-degree toolkit, here are a few examples of what it looks like when cultural responsiveness is continuously practiced and promoted. Professional development, where leaders have dialogue about implicit bias and how to recognize one's own bias as they lead and interact with teachers and students in the building for the purpose of actively interrupting that bias as often as possible. Having opportunity to participate in culturally responsive schooling related professional learning outside of the building that is chosen to support from district leaders at the school. And having opportunities and support for teachers in learning the languages represented in your own community, so that they can use those languages in academic and non-academic moments. Receiving support and training on how to extend teacher development and create opportunities for teachers to become leaders. So as you're leading for culturally responsive schools and thinking about professional learning and support, here are some leadership considerations you might want to ask yourself. Where do you see these types of culturally responsive actions already happening in your school? And how can you help strengthen or amplify them? What structures are in place that serve as barriers to having a more culturally responsive school? And how might you change or remove these structures? Who might serve on a team that can help take action toward integrating more of these culturally responsive practices in your school? Think about teachers, parents, and students. Thank you for your time. We hope that you found this webinar helpful in your understanding of what it means to engage in ongoing professional learning and support as it relates to culturally responsive schools.